You know, those aha moments, epiphanies or moments of clarity, those times where the light bulb comes on and you're like, oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it now. I get it. Well, I call those moments nuggets, like little nuggets of wisdom. And when I share those moments, I call them quickies. So here's your midweek quickie. Driving home earlier today, I passed a Studebaker. And I got super excited. I mean, you don't see one of those every day, right? And this one was on the road. I couldn't believe it. It made me think of my dad. He was an absolute car lover. And when I was little and be out in the world with him, he would point out different cars. He would tell me the year, the make, the model, all the things about it that he thought was fabulous. And one day, I'll never forget it, we saw a Studebaker. And he just lost his mind. He got so excited. And I remember him just crossing his arms and just staring at it and saying, oh man, she's a beaut. I bet she is worth a mint. And I was like, huh? Well, why don't we have one? To which he was, of course, very puzzled. And keep in mind, okay, at the time, a mint to me was a piece of candy, okay? When my parents would take me to a restaurant and we got mints after the meal, to me, that was fine dining, okay? That was top-notch shit. And I'm not even talking about individually wrapped candies or mints that they drop on your table with the check. No, I'm talking back in the day when you would leave a restaurant and as you exited, there was a bowl of candy, of mints. And maybe did not have a spoon to scoop these things out. But most people would just, dive their hand down in there, grab a few mints, throw them in their mouth as they walked out the door. That's what I knew of. That's what I thought of when he said mint. So to me, well, we can get our hands on some mints. Why don't we have one of those if it's only a mint? My dad chuckled when I explained to myself, and he was like, no, baby, I'm not talking about candy. I'm just saying it is worth a lot. And I was like, how much? And he said, well, what something is worth always depends on what somebody's willing to give for it. So as I passed that Studebaker this morning, of course, I recalled that entire thing. And I'm thinking, worth. When I think of worth, I think of money. What net worth, somebody's net worth. Or I think of somebody being worthy, like they've earned whatever. They're deserving, they're worthy. I don't know. Then I hear about self-worth. I think about that. But in terms of this Studebaker, he was like talking about the value, the dollar amount, the value of this car. And as I'm driving home, I'm thinking about, man, I wonder if that person just paid for it, just exchanged money and bought the car, or if the person bought all these parts and it was just, an axle and started from the ground up and spent time to create that. Like, how did that happen for that person? How did they end up with that Studebaker? And not to mention, how cool would it be to drive one of those around? Like, I don't know that I would drive that thing around. I would probably park it and just take selfies with it, I was thinking about that on the way home. Just kind of thinking about worth versus value. What is important? What do I treasure? How do I spend my time, my energy, and my money? Because typically what I give out, my time, my energy, my money, is in order to get something back. And how much I give out determines what I think the value or the worth is of what I'm getting back. That cost-benefit ratio that we've all talked about. But anyway, I am pulling into the driveway thinking about all this nonsense in my head. And as I get out of my truck, so I live in the mountains, so I'm on an angle. My truck parks on a hill. So sometimes, if I don't get the door open all the way, it will slam back shut and drill me right in, like, dead center of the shin. And it is so incredibly painful. And in that moment, just a few moments ago, I realized I have this vehicle, this body, this person of mine that's basically my equivalent of a Studebaker. Like, it's this just unique. Now, I'm not talking, fully restored, super shiny beaut of a vehicle, right? Okay, so I've got some scratches. Okay, I've got some dings. Got a little wear and tear, not as glossy and as shiny as I used to be. But, I mean, I'm not in pieces and parts, for God's sakes. I'm still on the road, right? I am my own Studebaker. So this is where I'm at right now. This is what I'm thinking about. If I look at my body as a vehicle, how much time am I spending on the maintenance? How much time do I spend making sure it's mechanically sound and all the parts are, hydrated, lubricated, are moving correctly, are not making weird sounds? Like, am I paying attention to it like I would if I were driving a Studebaker? No. That's the answer. Hell no. Not anywhere close, really. Not anywhere close. How much money am I spending? Like, how am I spending my money? Is it ways that benefits my vehicle? Is it healthy for my vehicle? Like, I wouldn't put bullshit gasoline in my Studebaker, right? I wouldn't piss in the gas tank, okay, and expect it to perform. I do that with my bod, though. Yep, straight up. Straight up. And now it's kind of hitting me right this minute. I would totally treasure a Studebaker because it's so unique. And that's exactly like me. And I often don't treasure me. Like, when I have a treasure, what I call a treasure is something that maybe doesn't have a lot of worth, quote unquote. Like, it didn't cost a lot of money and maybe doesn't have a lot of value to other people. They might not want it. But I want it. It might have sentimental value, as people say. I don't know. I want it. It's my treasure. I like it. Why? It makes me smile. There's a feel-goody to it. It's something that I'm proud of, something that I want to show off, that I kind of want to brag about, right? That's exactly how I would feel if I owned a Studebaker. So what happens if I think of my body that way? When's the last time I walked by my reflection and smiled? Like, hell yeah. Feeling grateful. Feeling proud. Like I would a Studebaker. So this is my new thing. This is my aha moment. My body is my vehicle, and I want to take care of it. I will spend the time, the energy, the money to maintain it, to do exactly what it is built to do. I need to make sure that it gets all the things that it needs in order to perform like I want it to perform. And I'm going to treasure it. I'm going to smile when I see it. I'm going to feel proud of it. Because at the end of the day, it's still on the fucking road, right? It's still on the fucking road. So that's my experiment for today. I'm going to see my body as my vehicle, my rare, unique find. And maybe I'm not in mint condition, but I am worth a mint. Next time you catch your reflection, cross your hands, lean back and go, she's a beaut. 'Cause you are.